So last week, the subject that I was talking about was pride, LGBTQ, and how it's, relates to class issues. I've gotten a few messages from some people, and it's kind of weird because some people will be like, "Oh my God, you're embracing pride. You're no different than the corporations." And I'm like, you may want to reverse that, because if I'm embracing pride, I'm embracing the original meaning of pride, which was a rebellion, which was a means to overturn the system that was going up against people for being who they really are, for us just living our lives as human beings. And so if you're going to come at me and say that I'm no different than the corporations for embracing pride, you may need to flip that, because the corporations are co-opting pride. The corporations are the ones that are giving pride less of a meaning now than it used to be. It's no different than when the corporations started co-opting things like Black Lives Matter, right? So it's the same thing. They're the ones at fault. They're the ones that are co-opting. We're the ones that's been doing what we've always been doing. And so please don't come to me talking about, oh, pride is a corporate thing, when originally it wasn't. And don't come after Black people either when we decide to celebrate Juneteenth because some corporations decide to co-opt it. We are the ones who originally wanted, who celebrated it. We're the original ones who embrace it. And so just because it gets co-opted doesn't mean it takes the meaning out of it. It's just we need to take it back. It's the same thing with the word woke. It still has the same meaning in the black community today. It's just other people co-opted it and made it something that it isn't. So that's something that I want to address, because people are coming at me and going, "Why are you embracing corporations?" I'm not. The fact is that the corporations are embracing, well, not really. There is just a means to make more money. When in reality, I embrace pride because, number one, I'm gay. I'm gay as hell. Number one. Number two, it was a means to fight against the powers that be that go up against those of us who are different. That's all it is. And so that's what I talked about last week. And I'm not going to relitigate the entire thing. If you guys want to, you guys can go. There are clips. There's the whole entire live stream from last week. Go ahead and take a look at that. But that's what it is. And I'm going to share this really quick because this basically solidifies my point. Because I saw this, I was like, what in the hell? And thanks to Ann Garrison for showing this. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Look at this. Lockheed Martin at Pride. Lockheed Martin at Pride. Like, no. This is one of the things I'm talking about. This is not pride. This is corporatism. This is capitalism. This is co-opting. This is co-opting of a movement that was against police brutality, that's against the state mandating us being who we are, that is no harm to other people. And so Lockheed Martin, along with all the other military industrial complexes and all the other corporations, are only doing this to make themselves look good to those of us that don't know. And that's the problem. This is why, if pride was the way it originally was supposed to be, back then, Lockheed Martin wouldn't touch pride with a 10-foot pole. And it shouldn't, because we don't want anything to do with these corporations. We don't want anything to do with any of them, because they're only there to make a buck off of our queer hands, off of our queer dollars. Rainbow capitalism will not save us. And if you're out there cheering for Lockheed Martin at Pride, Shame on you. Because they are going to be bombing and contributing to the deaths of other queer people across the world just to make $1. So that's the problem. Bring back Pride the way it used to be, where it was us going up against the system. Just like what Sylvia Rivera said, it's become too capitalist. Same thing with Black liberation. You got a lot of these companies wanting to embrace Black people only to get our dollars, but in reality, they don't give a shit about us. It's the same thing with gay people, the same thing with women, same thing with disabled people. And you don't think they're not going to start doing that for neurodivergent folks? They're going to co-opt them too, if they haven't already. So wake up and realize that the people who actually celebrate Pride, like myself, and actual gay people that really don't want these corporations there, we're actually the victims in this. Because we're the ones who are having our culture co-opted. So don't come after me. Don't at me. Don't DM me about, oh, well, you know, these corporations are all about pride. No, they're not. They're not. If they actually were about pride, then they wouldn't be going there as corporations. But they're not about pride. They're about just making an extra buck. I'm about pride. See the difference? And also, by the way, to anybody who's talking about Joe Biden putting up the pride flag at the White House, number one, I don't give a shit if he puts the pride flag at the White House. He doesn't actually care about us. What Joe Biden just did, honestly, that was tokenism. It's no different than Joe Biden talking about how he supports Black people. He doesn't support Black people. He doesn't support gay people. He doesn't support LGBTQ people. He doesn't. So guess what? When Joe Biden puts a pride flag, that's bullshit. He doesn't care. It's just to make it look like it's the facade, right? If he really cared about us, then our material conditions would be better. But they're not. So he doesn't give a shit about us. Joe Biden cares as much about Black people and gay people or queer people as Donald Trump does. Think about that one for a second.